Thank you for tuning in to the Art of Grace podcast, where God is creating a better you. You're watching Season 2, Episode 2. Our special guest today is Dr. Harriet Roberson, better known as the Kingdom Connector. Please listen in as Dr. Harriet shares on the art of networking. Hey, everybody, it's your number one Grace Girl, Farah, coming to you with a dear friend of mine today. We have been trying to get together for months to record this. And finally, God set some time in our day. We are very busy women, as all of you might know. A lot of you all follow us on social media. Well, I'm so excited to have my friend here today, and I wanted to read her bio. I don't want to just jump into this episode today without reading. I was reading it this morning, and I got so touched by it. I mean, I've been watching her on social media for a long time, and a lot of what I was reading today, I did not even know about her. Okay, so my special guest today, some of you might know her, is Dr. Harriet Roberson. TV personality, motivational, international, inspirational speaker, network strategist, international best-selling author, entrepreneur, philanthropist, known as the Kingdom Connector. Dr. Harriet is the co-founder of WEN, Women's Empowerment Network, Great Marriages Rock, and ImpactHER Women's Fellowship. Dr. Harriet is also a speaker, trainer with the National Association of Minority Speakers. Dr. Harriet is the recipient of the 2022 Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. She serves on numerous boards. Dr. Harriet is married to her husband of 42 years. 42 years. Yeah. She looks too young, right, for 42 years. They have 2 married daughters, a son, and 2 grandsons. Yes. Welcome, my guest, Dr. Harriet Roberson, everybody. Thank you. Harriet, when I was reading your bio today, I was so tickled, right? Because last week my daughter was like, Mom, you're not acting like a grandmother. So I didn't know that I didn't know you had grandsons.
Yes, 2 grandsons,
wow.
4 and 7.
And so they're not here in the city, because I'm sure if they were here, they would be at your house right now.
They live in one city over.
Okay. So that's not too far.
So not too far, about 45 minutes. So I get a chance to see them often.
So speaking of cities, so a few of you who are watching, okay, because I know we're going to share this all across the platforms, right? So me and Dr. Harriet, we're not from Richmond. I'm not from Richmond, Virginia, but I lived there for a lot of years. But that's where I met her, and look at where we both are now in the sunny state of Florida. Yes.
It's amazing.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
just to reconnect with you here in the city has been amazing. I mean, it's such a blessing.
You know, and today you were asking me what we're going to talk about, and I told you I didn't know until God told me. And so as I was driving here and I was just meditating on your bio, I said, you know, it has to be on networking, because how we met was a connection. You know, how we reconnected here was another connection through your son. And so, you know, shout out to Travis and Latasha Woods, because they reached out to me when I moved here. I was like, hey, you know, Dr. Harriet's son is moving down there. Try and see if you can connect with him. Now, just to let everybody know, Orlando is spread out.
Yes.
I mean, Richmond is like east, west, north, and south. Like you can get around the city like 20 minutes. But here, you gotta like drive to everything.
An hour here, an hour there, in the same city.
In the same city.
Same county.
I think that deters a lot of us from getting together. And I know that for me, you know, we're gonna jump into the networking piece. That was one of my excuses as to not come out to some of the events. I'm like, Harriet, it's so far. Like today, I drove over here to Harriet. It was about maybe a 50-minute drive. So, but you know, for what you want and for what you need in the seasons, you know, you got to go for it.
That's right.
Absolutely. You know, you have to go for it. Yeah. You know, I had the honor of coming to a few events recently that you were honored at, and this past week you were honored at an event and you were the keynote speaker, and it blessed me so much. And so I want to, you know, I like hearing things over and over and over again, you know, repetitively. And so I said, I want to hear again what we talked about this week about the networking, because I took a lot of notes.
Wow. Thank you.
You know,
and you know, I always laugh at how I got to Orlando. My son played football at University of Central Florida.
Yes.
And I had always said that when he was coming up, he was the last one home. And I said, wherever you go, anything over 3 hours, your mom is coming with you.
I'm coming.
And people would laugh at me, and they're like, oh yeah, whatever. So when he got a scholarship to play at UCF,
wow,
we followed the boy to college.
Wow.
And so we got a house here. I have my 2 grown daughters, older girls. They, you know, relocated their families
so they transitioned
here to Florida as well. All of us followed the boy to college.
Wow.
And so he was playing college ball, and we just knew he was going to play the next level because he always played ball, and that was his goals. So he decided when he graduated, he didn't want to go any further. He said he was done with football, but he had picked up a passion for film.
Got it.
So he decided that he wanted to go to film school. So now he's in film school. He's at USC Film School in Los Angeles getting his master's in film. Well, that left me here in Florida. It's like, okay, now what?
What am I going to do? Am I going to now go to California?
Yeah, we're going to California.
No, not doing the West Coast.
But it left me to a point where I really, everything was football. Everything, during the football season, we traveled with him. All the people we associated with were football.
Yes.
And, of course, church.
Yes.
We, met a lot of people in church. But as far as the marketplace and socially, I didn't know anybody in Orlando.
Yes, it was just like me, and it was very hard for me to reconnect because I had such bonds where we moved from, and it was hard. I could not wrap my brain around, am I going to find the same type of friends with the same personalities? And I was so hung up on that I was deterring myself from meeting new people.
And that happens. It happens for a lot of people. And then the pandemic hit.
Yes.
So pandemic is here. So now we're in the house.
Yes.
And we're doing these Zooms. And most of the Zooms I was doing with people who I knew from Virginia and from everywhere else. Not really from Florida.
I saw that. I saw that.
So after that was over with, then I was like, okay, I need to meet people. So I got on Eventbrite.
Oh my goodness.
And I started just putting women's empowerment.
Yes.
And just women's networking, women's social, women's, and that's what I put into, and that's how I got out.
So when you started, was it because you had this yearning or this missing of being around your friends? I mean,
Yeah, well, in Virginia, I was social butterfly.
Yes.
And I belonged to a lot of different organizations, and I went to a lot of different events.
Yes.
So I wanted that again.
Yes.
But I didn't really, since my family had moved to Florida, I didn't want to move back to Virginia to get that over. So I knew I had to start over. And like I said, that's how I started going to events. I started meeting people. They would invite me to their churches. I would go to their churches. I met I knew some pastors here previously from, just being in the, ministry network.
Yes.
And so I would go to their events, and again, everywhere I went, I just met people. And I opened myself up. A lot of people go places and they may go with that one person.
Yes.
And they stay with that one person the whole time. They're not actually venturing out and meeting people. And so I always encourage people that when you go to something, get out and meet people.
Exactly.
I was at a conference this past week, and I didn't know anybody at this conference.
Yes.
I have so many cards, so many connections. Had no idea so many people lived near me. I was in Fort Lauderdale, but there was a lot of people from Orlando who were there.
Wow.
I met some amazing people, and we exchanged phone numbers, and we're going to be seeing how we can connect in business, in the marketplace, in religion. I mean, in socially, just so many different ways. Just by talking to people, I had, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 people asked me about speaking at their events.
Really?
Because I was at a networking event, so I really wasn't talking about my book.
Yes,
because most people weren't talking about business.
Yourself out there. You were just getting to know someone.
Exactly. And so when they found out what I do, they were like, "Oh, you're a speaker." And so, well, what do you speak on? And so started telling different things. Again, people were asking me, well, I'd like for you to come and speak to my group.
Wow.
I like for this, I like for that.
Yeah.
And so it was just amazing that just the opportunities that can open up for you in any city just by networking.
Yeah.
You can go to a city and not know one person, and within 6 months, you can be integrated into that city to where you know so many people, you're going to different events, and then you're having your own, and they come to yours.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
so now in less than really 2 years, no more than, about 2 years, I mean, I'm able to easily pull together 50 to 75 women to do networking events, to do fellowships. I have an annual luncheon, 200 people, it sells out.
Wow.
2 years in a row, it sold out.
Wow.
And again, that came just from networking. And so when you come to my events, I usually, will say, I met that person here or that person. But, most of the people who are at my events, I met at a networking event.
At a networking event. I think that when people hear networking event, they're thinking just strictly business. And it's not necessarily just strictly business, right? Because I mean, I met a few ladies from your network. I mean, because what I did, okay, so let me just stop and slow down. So this year I made some goals, right? So one of my goals was to take off weight and to get healthy. And my second goal was to get out and network. And so I just want to thank Harriet because she had kept inviting me. She could have said, you know what, this lady has not showed up to one event in 2 years. I'm going to take her off of my mailer, right? And I got a text message one night and it was like last minute. And I said, Harriet, can I come? And you was, yeah, come on, no problem. And when I got there, I knew someone there. So there was 2 people that I knew. And I'm like, okay, wow. And then that night I just kept meeting new people. It was beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful.
And making lasting friendships. That's what I have found through. I call myself the Kingdom Connector.
Yes,
that's one of my names I've given myself because people always say, "Wow, you're such a connector."
Yes.
And I know it's all about the kingdom for me. And so so that's one of my taglines, the Kingdom Connector. And because I love connecting people, because a lot of people that have met women who have met at my events. They're friends.
Yes.
They socialize. They go on vacation together.
Yes, amazing.
I mean, it's amazing. We went to an event that was somebody that we knew was singing at this event.
Yes.
And when I got there, all these ladies were here, and I was like, I had no idea that everybody knew each other.
Yes, that's right. Because I came out that night with you, and there was another young lady that I knew there. She walked in, and we had been trying to connect. Me and her had been trying to connect, and we connected as something you invited both of us to.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so that's what it's all about, bringing people together. And when you say networking, a lot of people, and you're right, people think, okay, it's all about business. I'm marketing my business. But when I go to meet people.
Exactly.
I love meeting people, and there's always someone there. I was invited to a birthday party, and it was at a restaurant.
Okay.
And I just knew the girl who was having the party. I didn't know the rest of the people. Well, of course, I'm giving out my cards. I always have my cards with me.
Yes.
I gave out my cards, and the lady gave me a card, and she said, I would love to come to one of your events. Let me know when you're having something. This lady has been to every event since. Wow. That's been now over a year.
Wow.
Every event that I've had, anything that I'm going to, anything that, may not even be my event, she is with me at everything I go to. And we met at an event, and if I hadn't opened up my mouth to just say hi. And so that's the thing.
But Harriet, you make yourself approachable. There was someone that I met at the first event that I came to, and I was there at the end when you guys were breaking everything down, and she started to share that she had just met you like in December, but you would have thought this lady knew you for 20 years.
Exactly.
And she's like, I came here, I was by myself, and Harriet has been there for me, through this transition. I think she came from somewhere else. She moved from out of state. And I thought that the lady knew you for years. When I walked in, she was serving. She was right in the midst of everyone, and she was so happy to do it.
Yeah, and that's what I found, that, especially here in Florida, it's a lot of transplants.
Yes. Oh, yes.
It's a lot of people who are here who have moved from other areas, and they just don't know anybody yet.
Yes.
And so, I just try to have events that, whoever comes.
Yes.
If it's one person, I'm happy.
Exactly.
If it's 50 people, I'm happy. Exactly. I just want to connect people and just figure out what I can do to help. And like I said, when you're talking about connections, you may need something that I have to offer.
Yes.
And if I can't give that to you, I know somebody who can.
Yes, and you elaborated on that this past week at the event when you were speaking on that. You said, look around this room. There's something that you need, that one woman in this room has.
Right.
And I met, someone who's a party planner the other day. And sitting next to me, I introduced myself and we exchanged cards. And then there was another girl next to her, and then she introduced herself. She's a podcaster as well. I saw her YouTube videos, and we kind of been connected through LinkedIn. And Rachel, she's now done insurance for me. And then I met someone at the first event who did banners, got her number, she recommended me to a photographer. So it's like just this on and on and on.
Right, that's what it is. Yeah. And then, and it's our job to connect people as well. So when you meet someone, connect that person to someone, connect that person. Yeah. Because like I said, what you need is in the room.
Exactly.
But you won't know unless you open your mouth.
Yes. What are we holding on to for ourselves? Don't hold on to those things for yourself.
Right.
So I want to pull up the notes from the other day because I was so excited to see some notes the other day. So I don't know why I typed this the other day. Networking is essential.
Right.
And you talked about Eventbrite. So that's one thing. Now, when I moved here, I think I connected with some people on Meetup.
Okay.
But I said, I don't want to do this anymore.
Okay.
Because again, I had in my mind, I couldn't let go of where we came from, the sisterhood that I had there, my friends, and I just was like, I was self-sabotaging, I guess.
Right.
Like, you know what, I'm not even gonna try to move forward, but you know what, maybe somebody in that group I could have connected with, but I wasn't even trying. You know, I was looking for an excuse to leave.
Yeah.
And stuff, and so that was one thing. And so I've been here for 11 years, and I just started to make connections.
Wow.
You know,
after 11 years.
After 11 years.
Wow. And you know, a lot of times it comes from fear.
Yeah.
A lot of times we have fear that, you know, we're not going to meet the same type people, that the unknown. You know, will they be as nice as my friends at home?
Yes.
Will they be family?
Yes.
You know, but we just have to open up our hearts because there's so many people, so many good people.
It's a lot of good people.
And they're looking for the same thing that we are. They're looking for good relationships. Now, you do have people that, you know, may not mean you as good, but, you know, move on.
But you have to try. You have to at least try.
At least try.
Yeah.
And it's nothing to say that you have to continue.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, with that
yeah.
person, if they don't fit, you know, you, or they're toxic, or, you know, different things that you're not about, it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so
you
it's
know,
okay.
just
It's
move
okay.
on. Find another friend.
That's it. Yeah, we
Lose the
can't be
number.
afraid. Yeah, lose the number.
Lose the
You know,
number.
we can't be
It's
afraid
okay.
to find new friends. I think that's what it is. It's the feeling of, you know, my friendships, they're like family, and letting new people in. You
Right.
know, just, you know, that trust thing. And so I think that I've grown. I'm in a new season, and I'm like, okay, you know what? It's time. I'm not going anywhere. I finally feel settled. Like, I'm not thinking about leaving here.
Wow.
You know, I was like, okay, you know, maybe I'll move back to Richmond. I can get a job, or I can get back with, you know, my crew. But you know what? There's something, now if you had left, after Anthony left, I mean, this whole networking thing and all these people, I would have never met these women.
Right.
Probably I might not have.
Right.
You know?
And you know what? Like I said, God allows things to happen for a reason. And it's just so funny that that's how it happened for us to get here.
Yes.
And you know, I could still go back to Richmond, and I still do go back to Richmond.
Yes,
I still have my house there.
Yeah.
And so I go back and I'll call up the girls and I'll be like, hey, anybody want to go to dinner?
Yeah.
And my friends like, yeah, let's go. And
Let's
they'll
go.
meet me. You know, it's easy to get 25, 30, even 50 people one time that I got in less than a week.
Wow.
That I said, I'm coming, let's meet at a restaurant.
Let's go.
We're getting ready to do that again. A friend
Really?
of mine just opened up a new restaurant in Stony Point.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay,
And
I'm coming.
Yes.
Yes.
And so I'm
Point
gonna
is
go.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow, what a blessing.
And so it's Southern Kitchen.
Really?
With Shane Roberts. Yeah.
Wow. So we're
And
plugging you, Shane Roberts.
That's right. And
Yes.
she took over the Brio Tuscan Grill
Really?
out there in
Wow.
Short Pump. And so
Beautiful.
so yeah, we're gonna go back. You need to go with me.
Yes,
And we're gonna go back and have an event
And I'm
this
going to tell
restaurant.
you, there's some amazing content creators in Richmond. I keep up with you guys on social media.
Oh my
Charvette
gosh,
Mitchell.
Charvette.
Oh my gosh.
Branding
Oh,
master.
Branding master. Incredible. I know I reached out to her a couple of months ago. I'm going to definitely reach back out to her again. Gosh, Christine, she's doing something so different, etiquette training. So different. And she's,
Okay.
I mean, you've been growing up and just seeing what you've been doing. My niece just started a like a bakery business, and so she goes up, she does
nice.
pop-up shops and sells things. So I love it. Yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
Actually, Charvette came to Orlando last year and did a retreat.
Really?
At one of the beautiful mansions down in Reunion, and I was actually one of her guest speakers.
Wow.
Which was great. She didn't have to fly me in. I was down the street.
Yeah, Charvette, come back. The city needs you.
Come back.
Come back, please.
Yeah. But you know what? I just encourage people to, again, step out on faith. If you see a networking event, don't think about it as, oh, I don't have a business to promote, or I don't have. Go yourself and just meet people. You'll never know who you will be. I have met financial people who, like you said, party planners.
Yes.
I mean, people who do so many different things.
Yes.
Massages. People who are in real estate. I actually went to a real estate event. It was an event, a network event for real estate. I'm not a real estate agent.
Yes.
But I knew people, you know, I was invited by an agent. I went, met the nicest people. I wasn't looking for a house, but I met some great people that I'm friends with to this day.
Yeah.
And they come to my events too.
I love it.
And so just
it's
stepping
so
out.
funny that you say that, because in the event this week, there's a young lady who I always see at your events, and she's in IT. She does IT. And she was sharing about that and the whole AI thing and doing some things on your own instead of paying someone. And the young lady who does the Double Dutch group.
Oh yeah.
I mean, when I tell you,
First lady.
Yes, first lady. I reached out and said, hey, what day is she doing the Double Dutch? So I know I've got to connect with her. It's just so many different people.
Yeah.
And then also
always just look for different things to do, because even with the Double Dutch, they're on Sundays, and when I can go, Sunday afternoons, and when I can go, I go. And amazing group of women.
Yeah.
And so I'm getting exercise, I'm fellowshipping with women. Again, people have events,
Yes.
They do business. And so again, a whole nother group of people.
Yes.
There's so many different organizations that are here in Orlando that, again, I've integrated. I go to their things.
Yes.
And you have to be a member.
Well, I love what you just said. She just said, Dr. Harriet just said integrating, right? Because I know that for some of us, we can feel like we don't want to get into diverse groups. And I love it because you have so much diversity in your groups. These women that come, from every culture, and that's important too.
Right.
It's not just, we want to be around our brown girls. We love each other so much. But just, bringing in the other girls.
That's right. I know even with my luncheon, when you look around the luncheons, it's a rainbow.
Yes, I love that.
Women who are Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Moroccan. We have a lot of Moroccan women, Portuguese.
Yes.
So many different people who come, and again, that comes from stepping out into where they're at.
Exactly.
I'm not waiting for people to come to me.
Yes.
I go where they're at.
Exactly.
And participate. And you know what? And I have found it's been the most rewarding time. Back in December, I went to a vision board party with the Global Women of Impact. And it was my birthday month.
Yes.
And it was several other people's birthdays month too. So they had a cake, sang happy birthday in probably about maybe 4 or 5 languages.
Wow. Beautiful.
And that was just, to me, it was so rewarding. I would have not have gotten that if I had been just over it, my own, hanging with my, as I say, my own.
Yeah, right.
And so that's what I found. Like I said, just amazing group, but you don't get there unless you get out.
Yes.
And it just enriches your life. And again, like I said, in business, in the marketplace, in religion, I go to all different types of church events.
Yes, yeah.
It doesn't matter. For Easter, I was at a Catholic church.
Really?
I was at a Episcopal church. I was at a Baptist church.
Yes, and like you said, kingdom connection.
Exactly.
Kingdom connection.
Exactly.
Everyone's important.
Right, and people had events the entire Easter weekend.
Yes.
And my husband and I, we went to all these different events, and it was just so wonderful.
You had him dressing up.
Oh yeah, I did.
And Harriet's
so wonderful.
He's awesome because he's out there, he's working and doing things, and within the network. I see him out there setting up everything and breaking everything down, and he's so quiet about it. He's not, in anything. He's just there to help, and I love to see that.
Right. He's so wonderful. I do appreciate him. 42 years.
42 years.
Yeah.
So talking about your book, Marriage Rocks, right? Your Marriage Rocks network. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay, it's Great Marriages Rock.
Yes.
We started it as a Facebook group, and my husband and I have done marriage ministry for 30 years maybe. Wow. And so started the Facebook page. Make sure you all go to the pages. It's on Facebook and Instagram and even X. Okay. Formerly known as Twitter. But so it's Great Marriages Rock. People come on, they do inspiration, they post pictures of, different anniversaries, vacations. It's really good. So, encouraging people to go to that page. And then we've even, we plan to do some fellowships here in Orlando. some marriage fellowships, so excited about that. One of my other groups said, I don't know if you know about this one that we just started.
Oh,
it's the
let's talk about that. Yes, let's talk about that one.
WOE,
yes,
Women of
yes,
Elegance.
yes, because your girls made sure to remind me the other day, and I've been following you guys on social media, and I see when your events are coming up, and I've been telling other women about it.
Yes,
as well.
Women of Elegance, 60 plus for women who are over 60, and because a lot of times they say they don't have, it's, you know, they have the young girls doing their thing, but they don't have anything that's just for them.
Yes.
So super excited, meeting monthly at a restaurant for dinner, plan to do some trips and workshops that are specific for people over 60, because you know in this age group, you know, women are widowed, women are divorced, women are retired, but not dead.
Yeah, exactly, not dead.
Not dead. Yeah, they're dating, not dead.
Yes.
And so you know, it's a whole nother life for them, and you have so many women who are sitting at home lonely. Who don't have people in their lives. So this is a group that we're out there. So we also have a Facebook page. You can join the Facebook page and find out. Again,
I'll make sure I post it on my platform, because I do see the flyer that's out there, and I know that those ladies are fun. Can I tell you?
Fun.
Got way more energy than I do. Okay?
Yeah, they were at the event we went to at the Jazz.
Yes. Yes.
They had more fun than even me.
They did.
They had a ball.
Yeah.
And so a lot of fun people. So super excited about that.
And these are women who came through the network, right?
Yes. Everybody has come through the network.
Wow.
Yeah. And then you asked me about my book.
Yes.
My book is called The Holy But Sexy Wives Book. Teaching the church girls, well, any girls, how to get their sexy back in their marriage. And so it's not only about getting their sexy back, but it's about creating an extraordinary marriage as well.
Okay.
And so we want to make sure that not only, you know, to create a wonderful marriage, but to bring back your self-confidence, to, you know, to bring back your life, to know you are important, you're valuable. And so that's what the book is about. So it's a funny book too.
So we're gonna make sure that all of the stuff that Harry is throwing out there, that we're gonna have it all on the platforms, and I'm gonna make sure that I put all the links inside of the video, as well as I'll say it out loud on our Apple podcast, okay? Yeah. So there's a couple of things that you said this past Tuesday, so I'm gonna read off a couple of them, and then I'm gonna stop and let you elaborate. Building and maintaining information, so you know, exchanging business cards, prepare in advance before we get to an event, okay? Having a business card that has a front and a back side. Let's see, the elevator pitch, which I love that, because I had never heard of that until I came to her first networking event that I attended. Be dressed appropriately. I love that right there. Set clear goals. And this one here, I think that someone said this in the room, ask God to connect you.
That's right.
So how would you elaborate on some of these?
Well, first is go for the last thing you said. Is when you go to an event, have a clear goal.
Yes.
And most of the time, your goal is you want to connect with someone who can make your life better. So whether, again, it's a business, it's personal. So ask God to connect you with who you need to meet.
Yes.
You know, who is there for you to meet. Another thing is the elevator pitch. Making sure that everybody knows, you know, why you're there. That has your name and has, you know, you say your name, you say what you do, and you're just really quick.
Yes.
You know, they call it elevator pitch because if you got to an elevator with Bishop Jakes or you know, somebody, you only have one floor.
I had never heard of this
one
before.
floor that you may, and if they say, hey, what do you do?
Yes.
You need to be able to rattle off what you do, your name, what you do, and enough to give them a card and say, reach out to me. They don't have time to hear your whole story. They don't have time to hear all of it. It's, you know, and a lot of times you go to events and people have everybody stand up and say who they are. You may get 15, 20 seconds to do that.
Yes.
And so make sure to make sure that everybody knows who you are. And like I say, you can practice that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that.
We're running out of time.
I know. It's so much good stuff. Oh, you know what? As you were talking, I was thinking about this, right? Women who may feel like they don't have anything that they're doing, but yet they come to a networking event with someone, and maybe they're going to get some inspiration from that. Have you encountered that? Like a woman come in there and she has nothing, she feels, I have nothing to offer.
All the time.
Okay.
All the time. Most women who come to a lot of these events, like I said, they're not, most women, especially in our culture, are not used to going to networking events. So they think, oh, I'm going to go and I have to have a business. I have to advertise. I have to have this. I have to have that. And you may not have any of that. You may just have yourself to advertise.
Exactly.
And so just talking to people, exchanging numbers, and you just know you'll never know who you'll meet. And it's always so special.
So listen, before we go off, because listen, our time is against us right now, I want Dr. Harriet to share her platforms with you, and also for anyone that reaches out to her, she's gonna tell you how to reach out to her. There's 2 tickets that's coming up that she's gonna share about. And so I know that I've invited a bunch of women to this next networking event that she's doing, right? And so she's giving away some free tickets.
Yes, you can reach out to me on all social media at Harriet Roberson, and that's Roberson.
Yes, there you go. Yes.
And so, on Facebook, Twitter, X, I'm on everything, IG, and so reach out to me, and the first person to reach out and say Farah, you get 2 tickets to my next event. That's June 14th, and it is the Women's Networking Fellowship. And so I'll make sure to send you a flyer with all that information on. So make sure you reach out to me, follow me on all my pages. I wish you so much happiness and joy and success and everything you do. You're an amazing person, and I'm so honored to be with you.
Can I tell you that I'm honored, because just coming to the networking events this year it's been like a catalyst. It was that push that I needed, and I just thank you for not saying, I'm not going to send her any more messages. I'm not going to send her any more posts. I'm not going to send her anything else.
Persistence.
And that's the biggest thing. And so I appreciate Dr. Harriet for that. And do you want to see her come out for a second episode? I know you do. So please drop that down as well. So I'm going to have her come out again, because there's so much good stuff that's coming up, and I want to make sure that we get that information to you. So until the next time, reach out to me on all of my platforms. We thank you so much for supporting Art of Grace podcast. So much good stuff to come. We can't wait to see you again. And until next time, stay blessed. Thank you.
Stay blessed. Peace.
Did you enjoy Dr. Harriet's message on the art of networking? Well, join us June 14th, 2024 for Dr. Harriet's Spring Into Action Women's Networking event. You also stand a chance to win 2 free tickets if you reach out to Dr. Harriet on her platform and mention my name, Farah. I'll be her co-host for this next event. Special guest speaker will be Rachel Mashad of Legacy of Life Builders. Again, thank you so much for tuning into the Art of Grace podcast. We appreciate you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And until next time,